Right, today is all about catching some massive fish in the margin, a bit of margin madness, but stay tuned because we are at the incredible Guru Makings Fishery and we've got one of the best prizes we've ever given away.
Coin toss time. So we're going to decide what methods we're going to fish. We're going to have a margin madness day.
Margin madness.
And we've got two tactics that we think are like key margin approaches, haven't we? We've got grab bait and maggots, grab bait and dead reds. Great tactic on a lot of commercials. And we've got brilliant combination, pellets and corn. So we're going to pit each sort of approach, baiting approach against each other. We'll have a sit down on, I don't know, nice peg with the wind blowing in, I'm hoping. Try and catch some big old boys.
If you're fishing in the margins, that's what you're looking for. You're looking for that bit of ripple, you're looking for that bit of cover. So I think obviously methods would depend on depth as well, but flip a coin, let's have a...
What are we doing then? So whoever wins this chooses.
I'm going to keep... I'm not going to say anything about what I want to do. You flip your coin and then if I win, I'll tell you what I want.
Shout it up then.
I'll shout it. You call. I'll call heads.
I could roll it.
No, you couldn't. You're too good. You're too honest.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah.
Heads.
Yes, heads. I'm going. My favourite method is ground baiting maggots. That's my favourite edge method. It all depends on depth, but I'm going ground baiting maggots. I'll leave you pellets and corn, and I think, not being funny, you probably would have picked that anyway, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I would have picked pellets and corn because I do know the venue. The only problem is with pellets and corn is I've got to go and buy some fishery pellets now.
Yes, yes.
Come and look at this amazing prize because you could win a 2-night stay in this incredible lodge at Makings Fishery with free fishing. Come and have a look at the accommodation because you get one massive bedroom, 2 massive bedrooms, 3 massive bedrooms with, look at that for an ensuite. A brilliant ensuite bathroom, another wonderful bathroom here. Quick, follow me. Look at this. How big is this for a living space? Ooh. And then, this is the reason that we come to Makings Fishery. The fishing, it is brilliant. The lakes are full of fish. The fishing is nothing short of incredible. I come here a hell of a lot and catch loads of fish. Decking straight out, 15 yards away from one of the best lakes on the complex. A wonderful place to sit and fish and to sit and have a beer maybe in the evening. And also, look at this, Lee, come round. The hot tub. Every lodge here has got a hot tub. You can sit in the hot tub, maybe go and reel in and catch another carp, have a glass of beer, have a glass of wine, relax, use the stay however you want. But that is not the only prize that we've got for you. Along with this package, you could also win some amazing tackle from Guru. There is a feeder rod, a float rod, and a margin pole. So when you come here on your stay to Makings, you've got all the kit to catch some amazing fish in some amazing surroundings. What a package. If you want a chance of winning this brilliant prize package, head over to cuttingedgecomps.co.uk. There'll be a link below. Good luck, folks. It's an amazing package. I hope it's your lucky day. This is where we're going to fish, Lake 3. A couple of anglers here. I've seen them catch a couple of fish already. And I think over there on that far side, we are going to have a wonderful day. Always a reliable lake, this lake is. A lot of carp in here from £4 to 10 or 12 pound. We could catch a few double figure fish today. Let's see, let's get the gear across there. Slight issue, I've not got my trolley, so we're gonna have to take it in turns with Lee's trolley. Lee will get his gear over there, I'll get my gear over there once he's got all set up, and then we shall get fishing. Hopefully we'll catch a few big boys. There we go, frame of my box. The rest of my gear is on Lee's trolley. So we've managed to get 2 lots of gear on Lee's trolley, and I'm walking around with my rods and the frame of my box to make it a little bit easier. He's pulled rank on me, look. He's just said to me, I've got to sit on this one, fishing that way. And he's got to, he said he's got to sit on this peg, fishing into that corner where the wind's blowing. With all those reeds.
Did anybody else here carry 2 people's gear?
Yeah, because he carried my kit, he's saying that I've got to, I get the worst peg. It all looks great, to be fair, but Lee has got to sit on this peg, apparently. He's got to sit there. Looks incredible. I think we're going to catch loads. Ground bait prep for your ground bait and dead maggots approach.
Does it get any easier, Rob? I've got half a pint of dead red maggots, or with a few fluoros.
Is that it?
Don't tell anyone. Yeah.
I mean, I know you've got a bag there, but oh,
Yeah.
hang on.
Hang on.
A bag of dead red maggots, but that's not the interesting part. Look at this.
Rob snacks.
My snack.
Biscuits, chocolate, Lee snacks, apple and healthy. That's what I've gone for.
Wow.
Yeah, anyway, they're not all secretly my biscuits. I've gone for the super easiest day ever, and a bit of match method mix for me, and half a bag, I reckon, Rob. Not gonna go nuts. Just had me free feeder drop in there, so I best dig him out, because obviously we're sort of looking at a typical margin session, which is like 2 hours. This is what I would do, because I don't tend to feed loads of maggots. It's all about the ground bait. Look at this. Look at me ruin my ground bait, right? And I mean ruin, like literally slop, because pellet based ground baits, we know, absorb, but people never ever quite, they just don't believe it, right? They do not believe how much you put in, because that is all going to blow up massively. In fact, you won't even believe it, more, get in there. Like literally, I want a soup, and what's going to happen over the course of the next 30 minutes is that soup is going to turn into a nice hard stodge, and I'll push it through the riddle, and I'll have a dead heavy blown up mix. I'd love to feed it like that, Rob. That would be the one. Something that's going to go in, cloud up, and get those fish eating on the bottom. So that, we'll come back to that in about half an hour. I'll literally leave it like that. Let's see what it looks like. Back to the ground bait. That looks horrific, absolutely horrific. It'll be completely and utterly solid in the bottom. That's because all that water has now been taken in to make basically a cake, a really horrible claggy wet cake. Now what I like to do, because I want it all basically broken up, is now push it through the riddle. So like, even though it's a horrible cake, just push it through, because all you're trying to do when you feed it is make it as attractive as possible. So I don't want it in just a lumpy ball on the bottom. I'm going to pot it in loose anyway as it is, but what I do want is it really claggy and sticky. I mean, you could never use this in a feeder in a million years when you mix it up like this, but for what we're doing today, it's absolutely perfect. So just literally giving that a nice push through. I'll give that a couple of bangs. That is what it looks like once it's through. So like a really overly wet, probably the most attractive fish thing on the planet, I'm saying. That is ridiculously attractive.
So that is heavy, isn't it? That's as much water as you can get into that ground bait.
You can't get any more water into that ground bait, Rob. That is literally, like you say, as much as you can get.
So if you push it,
yeah,
it's like almost, that's softer than a lot of people would fish with pace.
Probably is, yeah, absolutely. But a great way to feed in the edge, because, you know, depending on how it's going, I'm not going to tell you too many secrets, but I might put in like a ball like that to kick it off, or I might top in with a little bit. I want it to go down, be dead smelly and heavy, and almost sit like that on the bottom, so the fish come in and like clag at it almost. So you know how attractive pace is when you're fishing. That's effectively what I'm doing.
Right, come over here, because I'm going to show you my ground bait for the day, my pellets. So I have got my lovely little margin swim down there. I've done my pellets. So in my EVA, added a little bit of water to the micros that we've just bought from the shop. What I'm going to do is keep adding water, because we've literally just bought these micros. What I don't want to do is ruin them straight away. Obviously we know that pellets take a little bit of time to soak up. We probably want to leave them for like half hour or an hour while we're setting up, just to take on that water. So I'm adding water gradually really. I don't want to ruin those pellets. Give them a shake up in that EVA. They'll be absolutely spot on. I'm looking just like you are, Lee, for heavy bait, because I've had a plumb up and
I'm not being funny,
realised
right?
the margins.
I've just had a little spot in here, right? Did you have a dig at me for my end peg when you've got this almost X marks the spot cutaway?
It looks beautiful, doesn't it?
Beautiful. I'm saying, look at this. Look. Obviously a beautiful cut in to fish to. Oh no, horrible big reedy bank.
up.
Yeah,
Your peg's
yeah.
brilliant.
There you go. Like
Right. This is interesting. I've had a plumb up.
Oh, go on. I'm
Like
ready,
you
I'm ready,
have.
I'm ready.
Look,
Deep in it.
it's deep.
Yeah, it's deep.
So, fortunately, I got some 4 mils from the shop as well.
Oh.
So we know that we want bigger baits, heavier baits for the deeper water. That's what we've learned from all of our underwater margin stuff that we've been doing over on the membership channel. So what I've got is I've got some 4 mils here and they're just being soaked up. I'm just trying to make these as heavy as possible with the water. I'm trying to take the edge off them. I want to soak these 4 mils just so they're soft and I can feed these with the corn. So I've got an option of micros soaked up. I've got an option of 4 mils soaked up. I'm keeping an eye on these all the time because I don't want them to go to a total mush, just whizzing them around with my hand all the time in a bucket. Again, you'd probably want to do this at home or even the night before, but because we got the pellets here from the shop, give them a quick whiz up. I'm sure they'll be fine in sort of like 20 minutes, half hour. And then, how easy could this be? I've got 3 tins of corn. Is 3 gonna be enough?
Tell you what, you're going for it, aren't you?
I'm
I've got
going
half
for it.
Half pint of maggots and some ground bait.
So 3 tins of corn. I'm going to open one at a time. We'll see how we go. And I think like double corn. I've not got any pellet hook baits. Corn's going to be the hook bait.
Yeah,
That's
it's
my
called the
hook
hook bait, isn't it,
I
then?
think single or double corn down there over some pellets and corn. I think that's the way to go. We'll see how we go though, because what we're saying, I'm about set up. Are
I'm
you?
ready, mate. I'm ready to go.
Right.
I'm cooking on gas.
All right, I'm going to look at your rigs next. Rig time, Lee Kerry. What are you washing your hands in the margin, getting rid of all that ground bait attracting fish?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm doing, mate. I'm not cleaning the blood off my hands where I cut my hands
okay.
in the rushes.
As long as you're not pulling a little bit of a stroke.
No,
and you're
what? Well, do you want me to show you how my ground bait works?
No,
on
I'd
the
rather
edge?
you keep your ground bait on your side
Oh,
trip.
right, okay. I was going to show you how it works.
Talk me through your rigs.
Right, couldn't be any easier. Like you said, it's deep. It's actually 3 foot deep, 36 inches. Like.
Yeah.
So I've got a nice visible float with a 2.5mm tip. That's massive when you're fishing the edge. Nice tip that's going to hold your rig up nicely. I've got an edge float, 4x12 with a glass stem. I've got 021 power line, Rob, as my main line. I've gone for industrial because I've got 1 top kit. I thought I can't afford for that to let me down. So I've got 1 top kit and then I've got all my shot above my hook length. Notice, Rob, how I've beautifully strung them out like a centimetre apart there, right? Only for after 2 fish to them all be clumped on top of my knot at the bottom. But to start with, that's the dream. And then I've got a pre-tied 12 XSH hook to 017 power line because I was going to go easy and fish like 013, 13 hollow, 14 triple maggot, and then I saw you get some 17 hollow out and some absolute rope, and I thought, he knows. Because like, folks, this is the first time I've ever even seen this lake. Is the first time. And of course, Rob knows every peg, every fish, every species.
I've fished this lake before. I'm not going to say that I fish it all the time, but I've probably fished it 4 or 5 times.
We're expecting big things, aren't we?
We are, but he's changed the stocking a little bit. He's put some more smaller fish in. He's took a few of the other fish out.
A few F1s.
We'll see, yeah. I've got a very similar rig. Like I say, I've got 17 hollow.
Nice.
I've got 022 main line.
Yeah.
What did you say your size float was?
412s. It could have been a 414s, but Rob, this seems to take like 5 number 8s and another one.
So it's a heavy 412.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Heavy.
I've got a 414s float.
Yeah.
And it's a heavy 414. So let's have a quick look at the gear that I'm using because it's very similar to Lee's, but my peg is probably about 6 inch deeper. So we've got lovely thick bristle float. That's a Melbourne Rube with a thicker bristle. 17 hollow elastic. We've got, look at this.
Yeah, the shotting pattern.
The shotting pattern, sort of slightly strung bulk, but it's not. It'll just end up as a little bulk above my hook length. And my hook length is 8 inches long, and it's actually a size 12. It's tied knotless knot for a bit of extra strength to 0.18. Everything is slightly heavier than Lee's, but that's only because my options are a little bit, you know, I'm going for it. I'm thinking margins.
We're very similar, aren't we?
Very
That's
positive
very
approach.
similar, yeah.
So I think that's going to be pretty good. Like I say, my peg's probably about 6 inch deeper, 8 inch deeper than yours, isn't it? Down there.
Yeah, it does look a little bit deeper, yeah. Yeah. Well,
But-
should we? I'm absolutely bursting to feed some bait.
You want to put some bait in?
Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready for some
Right,
hauling.
let's go. What we're saying, because it's not a comp, is it? It's just we just want to see which is best.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see whether one of us catches.
Nobody cares who wins.
No,
Rob.
no
It
one
doesn't
cares who
matter.
wins, no.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
So we want to see which approach is going to catch the biggest fish. Is it the approach offered by you on the end peg with the wind blowing into it?
Yeah, yeah.
Or is it the approach offered by me on this peg that hasn't
Yeah.
got the wind blowing into it and is not really got any form?
Yeah. Apart from the specifically cut out. Yeah. Anyway.
To run alongside our latest competition where you could win a 2-night break here at Guru Makings Fishery, catching big, beautiful fish in wonderful surroundings, stopping in the magnificent accommodation that they have here on site, we've got some brilliant kit. So there's 3 main methods that you're going to use on nearly all of your commercial fishery work, especially here at Makings: feeder fishing, waggler fishing, margin fishing. We've got in this prize package a 9-foot N-gauge feeder rod, ideal for all your short range commercial fishery work up to 30 metres. It's going to handle fish in excess of double figures with ease. We've then got an N-gauge 10-foot pellet waggler rod. This is perfect for your pellet waggler fishing, firing those 8 mils out, catching 2-3 foot deep on some of the bigger lakes here. It is a beautiful bit of kit. You know though how important margin fishing is, so you're going to want some sort of margin pole. We've included one in this package. It's an A-class margin pole. It's going to handle the biggest fish that you're likely to hook here at Makings. It is going to be an ideal tool for catching those big lumps later in the day down the edge. So there you go, the 2-night break plus that amazing assortment of gear that's going to help you catch loads of fish here at Guru Makings Fishery. If you've not had a go on the competition, it's well worth a go. Come on then, Lee, let's go. Tell me how you're starting.
Right. I'm going to go with half a pot of GB, literally scooped in, and it's got about 5 maggots in it, Rob, which is totally unnecessary. I could put no maggots in, but I can't.
What are you doing, fishing the canal?
No. I want a sample hook bait. That's what I'm going for. And I'm going to pot it exactly where I'm going to fish. And I'm going to like turn my pot over. Do you know, it's gone down beautifully.
Is it?
Do you know, sometimes I think to myself, should we be cleverer than that? Like, what happens if I threw like, or potted like 5 pots like right next to this pallet, bring a few into the area and then just have a little spot just off it, you know what I mean? You ever thought about that?
Yeah. I don't think we need to be that clever today.
No, I don't.
Whenever
but-
I've fished this lake, it's been great, Lee. I don't think we need
Oh,
to
has
be...
it?
Yeah, it's been great.
What,
but he has thinned the stock out a little bit, so...
Oh,
We'll see how
then
we go.
Then he's put some F1s in, you said?
Yeah, he has put some F1s in. I'm going for a handful of those 4 mils, probably about 100 4 mils. No, 54 mils. And about the same of corn. And I'm going to pot them in. And I'm doing it, big pot. You're big potting as well, aren't you?
Big potting, mate, it's
Big
anyway.
pot in. Oh, I can't reach my top kit now.
Tell you what I'm worried about. Just saw a guy over there pull a little perch out the edge.
Oh, you could be perched
And I'm like,
now.
oh my God, what if I get perched to death? It's one of the things I
Imagine that.
detest. I'll be like coming over for begging for some corn.
Next thing we've got a problem with,
Yeah.
I'm using a hook length that I've used before. So it's not a fresh hook length.
I'm sorry, used before.
Yeah.
Do you take this channel seriously or not?
No, not really.
Oh, right, that's
Double
fair enough.
corns going on.
Don't blame me, to be honest.
Double
Right, I'm
corn?
going in. I've got like 7 maggots, something like, oh my, Rob, there's a tail.
You're kidding me.
There's a tail in my peg.
What, and how deep is your swim?
3 foot. It was about 2 foot away, my tail. I'm going
Are we
in.
saying first one to get one?
Well, if you want. Now I was thinking it was going to be ages. I'd have gone in soon if I'd have known that. Let's have a little look. So I've gone in with 7 maggots. Is this going to be a perch? Or is this going to be a big carp? Oh, I've missed a bite.
Oh,
And I'll tell you what, What a bite as well. That was not a perch bite. Have I missed that? Have I missed that? I don't believe it. Oh, that, I don't know, it could be a perch. Bouncing around now.
I'll tell you what, Lee, the focus.
Tell you what.
The focus, it's intense, isn't it?
Yeah. Got a lovely little support for my oh no, no, no. Rob, a perch.
Oh dear.
Oh,
I've just had a big liner.
right, I'm going back in.
Big liner.
Not a perch, can't be doing with a perch.
How big's that perch, Lee?
What have they got to be to count? To make us feel like it was a significant
How many
purchase?
to the pound are those perch?
Ah, there's some perch there, Rob. There's some perch there. Maybe I missed my chance on a big one.
Just remember, you chose ground bait and maggots.
Yeah, you didn't tell me we were coming on the perch lake. Yeah, there's some perch there. Often what happens with ground bait, a few early perches. You want to try when you're fishing in the edge and there's a few perch about, not really lifting your rig up and down as much. So there's a few like dinking it and dapping it down there at the moment, so I'm just going to wait for them to calm down. Because they're, oh hello, that's not a perch, Rob.
You got one?
That is not a perch. I've got one. What a great start.
I was hoping I was going to catch the first fish.
Well, I tell you what, I have got one. Oh, have you moved my pole?
Yes.
Oh, great.
I've not got any sections set up either if I have to follow one out.
We're going to have a no section adding rule.
It's a hit and hold.
Oh my
day
God,
today.
this is hit and hold as well.
Big fish?
It's not an F1.
No.
That is going on a good run. Yeah. I can't believe you've moved my pole.
It's a hit and hold day.
Wow, that is a hit and hold. I haven't done that for a few years. I'm breaking it down to a 4. Well, that was good. Great start to my. Sure, I saw a tail. I reckon the first bite I had was potentially a one from a proper fish. Don't do this. What are you doing over there?
Isn't it amazing how fast they come to the bait, Lee?
Oh, it's unbelievable. Bearing in mind that is the first bit of bait I've fed. Rob, this is. That's broke me. You have broke me. It has broke me. I can't believe you. I'm blaming you for moving my pole. Me adding sections on pole.
Oh dear.
That was a big fish, that was, you know.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Real
mate.
big fish. Tell you what, he's done well to break the old 017, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has.
Power line. Takes some breaking, that does. So, almost shot her on top of me hook length now, as I expected they would be. Broken.
Straight after that perch. How many indications did you have, Lee? You have any liners?
I'm sure the first bite I had, Rob, was from a carp, and then I just had a few little dips and daps. So, folks, when you are fishing a top kit and 1 in the edge, it's very important to remember to have some extra pole behind you, because when they do things like that, because that was a strong fish that was, and it's been a long time since I've been broken, if I'm being perfectly honest. So I'm going to get my other 2 pole sections that were here, that Mr. Roberto kindly moved. That really did go for it, that one did. So let's go and have another go. What a disappointment after me big moment. My big moment spoilt by a breakage. Like I say, it's done well to break. 017 power line. That takes some proper breaking.
You were a hero then for a few seconds, weren't you?
It's going to haunt me, that is, for hours and hours and hours.
I've had a couple of liners, you know, but nothing that's a bite. Still reckon my bait's been eaten.
Mine was a lovely bite. Everything was great, apart from getting it out, which wasn't great. Tell you what, Rob, I wasn't expecting such an aggressive... The fight was so aggressive. I'll tell you what, I bet it was a big common. If I was a betting man, because they like to go nuts. We've got some pole sections this time. Yep, he nearly broke me as well, Rob, look.
We're not adding perch.
Yeah, oh, are we not?
Perch don't count.
So I've gone with like...
I'll let you know, perch do not count.
7 dead red maggots. I almost want something so big that the perch nick a couple off. You're not going to worry about it.
Ooh, that looked like a bite, Lee. Is he still down there? See if I can get him. Can't get in, there's a big one down there. I'm laying it on top of its back.
You're just too busy laying it over its back?
Yeah, my float won't settle. Now we're fishing.
Now, I'll tell you what, Rob, we've got another one. And he was not small head nod, he didn't. He gave me a great big wallow. And he's not going off like the nutter that the other one did. The other one was psychotic.
It did go way out. Here we go. Get to your top kit quick. That's a good tip, Lee. Get to your top kit quick.
Yeah.
And then if he does go, you've got sections behind you.
Yeah. Nice. This is, put it this way, the fight this one's given me, and it's about an £8 common. I dread to think what that first one was. But yeah, nice start anyway. A nice start.
What are you doing standing up?
It just went underneath my pallet.
I think we're going to catch loads, don't you?
I think we're going to catch loads, yeah. That's quite exciting actually, to have such a nice margin day. Look at state of him, Rob.
Is it big one?
Yeah, he's like £9. Like I say, I wonder
Mine
what
isn't as big. He's probably, I don't know, £4 or £5.
This one's not particularly long, but it's very fat. So, there he is. Nice common, actually landed. Great fishing, great fishing. What are you topping up with then?
I'm using them softened fours because I think it's a bit deep. I'm going with, same again, 50 fours. 30 or 40 grains of corn. They're coming straight to it though, aren't they?
Obviously, like, I mean, you know, 2 have come straight into that there, down this edge. I mean, what brilliant, I mean, that is, not being funny, that's brilliant fishing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the middle of the day. It's not exactly like dream margin time.
Isn't it simple as well?
It's beyond simple.
See so many people with so much kit and then you can just come down with a little pole and catch a load of fish.
Yeah, couldn't be any simpler, I'm saying. Very, very nice way to spend an afternoon. Well, hopefully learn a few things, a few extra things as well.
Oh, bite straight away, yeah. Quite a few fish down there.
Wow.
Seems strangely, but I think I'm going to have to feed a bit less than I'm feeding.
Oh yeah.
I don't think I need to feed as much bait as I'm feeding. They're obviously there, aren't
they? You can tell already there's another carp down here, Rob.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, you know, I've fed 3 times with half a pot full. You don't want to get carried away, do you?
No. Down here, it's just a little bit too deep to keep feeding loads of bait. Like you say, it's a beautiful cutout, isn't it, here?
Go on the perch.
With a perch?
Well, I've caught a perch every time before, so I'd have been
Yeah.
disappointed if I hadn't managed one, you know.
Is that the trick, is it? Clear the peg of perch, then you get your carp.
That wasn't a perch.
Tell you what's nice with double corn, you can see how your float's sitting. You know, because it's a heavy bait.
Yeah. It's beautiful, isn't it? I think fishing double corn is one of the best hook baits I've ever fished with down the edge when they're eating it, you know. When they're on double corn, it's unbelievable.
Like just then, it's sat against the shelf. It's either gone in a little dip, so the float's sat a little bit lower. You just think that's not sitting right, so you can just lift it and put your rig in again. I'll tell you what you need to do, Lee. You need to hit your first bite. So we need to get the feeding right, because
Need to what, Rob?
I seem to be missing like that first bite, then I'm waiting again for another indication from a fish. So
Yeah.
I think I need to feed less bait in the peg, less is going to be more. So that was a liner.
Have you fed any corn yet?
Yeah, I've been feeding corn with the pellets, but I'm going to literally feed like 15 pellets and 10 grains of corn and see if we can get a bite, because they're coming into it like straight away.
Yeah.
I don't think I need to feed loads bait.
Hang on a minute, what happened there?
I don't want to talk about it.
All right.
We struck at
A foul
looked like a proper bite to me, but I think he was foul hooked. Double corn, double corn. Being careful how I put it in as well. I'm like lifting it all the way up and trying to lower it in rather than lay it in. So I don't want to lay it over a big fish. I want to sort of like put it in amongst them. Do you think these banks are a bit undercut, Lee?
I'm sorry, Rob.
Do you think the banks are undercut?
I don't think they are, because I think that the banks here have got a very, very thick reed.
Yeah, do you think the reeds are holding it all together?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I think they grow down, and I think there's not enough space between the reeds to effectively for the bank to be undercut. You know.
Less bait, Lee. Clean bite, first drop in.
Yeah, that's what you want, isn't it?
I think ground bait's going to get loads in your peg, but I can't even see me picking up my micros, you know, so I don't know how
Yeah.
you're going to get on with your ground
Well,
bait.
I just re-fed with ground bait and hooked one instantly, but it just came off. Obviously a foul hooker, you know.
I've scooped twice at him and missed him every...
Yeah, how's that going?
Yeah. I'm pleased to have put decent gear on.
Yeah, I could have brought my 17 all around if I'd have known. Oh,
You got it?
oh, Yeah. Oh, see,
dearly.
I've had two. I've got a scale. I've had 2 or 3 like that, Rob. On and then off.
Oh, he's a nice fish.
I've had 2 or 3 like that.
That's just another carp, Lee, that one.
Just another carp.
Just another carp, mate, yeah.
Well done, mate.
I mean, you, if you want to catch perch, you can carry on catching them, mate, but I like catching these carp.
I'm going to flick, there's 2 reeds that are annoying me, and I'm going to flick them off like that.
Less bait, less is more.
Well, based on your less is more, I've just put like a little pinch in. You know, like a method-sized amount.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens. Because they're definitely coming into my bait really quickly. So no shortage of fish. He's a nice one.
Keep it up, mate. You're doing
Glad that
fantastic.
we've come on a lake full of tiny perch.
You're doing great.
What I've done is I've just put a little bit of extra line on the bottom because I don't want my bait moving about at all because it'll grab the eye of a perch. So like, I don't want any wiggling. So I reckon if I just put a little bit of extra line on the bottom, I've got, I'm not saying less, I'm not saying I'm not going to catch perch still.
Another one, Lee.
But
Another one, mate.
have you?
Yeah.
Well done, mate.
Great start, isn't it?
Brilliant. Great start to the session.
We've both had a few fish, haven't we? How many
what?
fish have you had now?
Just what? Oh, well, yeah. I've had 1 fish. 1 fish got broke.
You know, let's count total fish, because obviously we've got to count those perch.
All right, total fish, yeah. Well, I've got about 10.
Oh, lovely common carp, Lee. Oh,
But aren't the fish
What a
great
beautiful
size,
fish.
Rob? Great size fish.
that is a stunning fish.
Right, I am enjoying my best run, and I've just made a little adjustment. So what I'm doing, Rob's obviously feeding hard baits that the carp are eating, like corn and hard pellets. Nothing else is eating those baits. For me, I'm feeding a softer bait, as in maggots and ground bait. It's attracting lots of different fish into the peg. So when he went more rational, almost like rationing his bait for his fish, when I tried to do that, I just got less carp in my peg. So I've got like 3/4 of a pot of ground bait there. We're probably like 10 a dozen maggots in, because the best way to not catch a perch is to make sure that I catch or get a carp into the peg. So all I'm doing is just putting that decent pot in on the water surface, turning it over. It's really attractive. And what I'm looking for is basically a big carp to come in. And if a carp comes in, those little perch soon get out of the way. Why wouldn't you? So then hopefully, don't get me wrong, I could still catch a perch. I've still caught a few perch, but I've definitely caught less. I've just had a brilliant run, got great big fish in the edge by effectively just being a little bit more positive, because I'm fishing with a different style of bait. So it just goes to show that sometimes you need to fish to your bait rather than, obviously, if somebody's saying, oh yeah, I'm feeding like 3 8mm pellets, that's obviously going to be very different to feeding micros, for example. So a little indication there. So, you know, and you don't seem to get, what also I notice is I don't seem to get a very big window of opportunity to catch my carp. It's like I get almost 2 minutes. If I don't get one in 2 minutes, the chances are the perch have come in and I'm going to start getting perchy bites. So you almost like feeding and going in and going, yeah, do I get one within the first 2 minutes or not? If I don't, I can feed again, which is, you can see why you might get through like a couple of kilos of ground bait in just the latter part of the day, because you're trying to be that much more positive. So let's see if we can nail another one. I mean, it's brilliant fishing. What a venue this is. Can't believe how good the fishing has been here, because we've sat in the middle of the day on a lake and almost just caught immediately these great big carp. It's been brilliant fishing. And that's pretty much how it's been. It just shows just a little change has made such a difference to those that I'm hooking up on, and almost like a much more positive approach. But what a place, what a place, what a day's fishing. I mean, these are really pulling, these are really going for it proper, these fish. Just so excited. I love like fishing for decent fish in the margins. I've said it before, it's probably one of my favourite ways of fishing. Tell you what, it's about time we went and saw what Rob's doing, because he's also having a mega day. Come on then, whoa, 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 whoa. Because this has been great, hasn't it? And it's been great.
It's been great. The fishing's been great. So I've had a mega start. Look at this. This is how much we're feeding. So you think of margins as like pile the bait in, and I thought we might have to do that, but because I'm getting loads of fish in my swim, there's like literally no need to use loads of bait to attract them. So I'm just getting line bites when I get that. So a few of those softened 4 mils going in the pot. Nice selection of my hook bait.
So similar amount.
Yeah, going into the pot. That is it. Right,
okay.
And then we're down there in our little margin hidey hole. All nice and tight. Now hopefully everything's settled now by the time we go out there, so we're not laying our rig in while all that bait's still falling. So it should all be pretty close to the lake bed by the time we put our rig in the water. So
show us how you're hooking
your
corn.
Let's have a look how we're hooking this corn. So I'm picking out 2 bits. I don't want rock hard pieces of corn. I just want like nice bits. So going in through that top bit there. I'm trying to nick this second bit on. It's a bit hard, it is. Let's get a nice softer bit. A little bit softer. There we go. So plenty of hook points showing. Yeah,
great big hook. Yeah, I love it. Yeah,
great big hook. And
I'm going to move to the margins. Yeah, damn right I am. Why wouldn't I? I want a first-class view.
Is that the action?
Yeah, this is the action shot of this beautiful little
putting it in
cubby hole.
What I don't want to do is just lay the rig in. I want to hold it out. I want everything straight, and I want to put it. Almost imagine I'm putting my corn in amongst those fish.
Well, that's just a thing of beauty.
So I'm not too happy with that, to be honest, mate.
Laid on a piece of reed or something, was it?
So I need to get a float settling better. So I'm holding it up, holding it up, holding it up. Everything's nice and straight. In theory, there's 2 or 3 carp down there feeding already. I've just plonked it in the middle of them. Will one of them take it? Go on then, take it, take it, take it. Take it, take it, take it. The bites have been brilliant. You know, double corn bites?
Yeah.
Whoosh.
You just go under at 1,000,000 miles an hour, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's crazy, really. Some of my best days have been with double corn hook bait, Rob. Like, it's just a heavy hook bait that when they suck it in, you go, yeah, that's a carp.
Yeah.
And these big carp love it, don't they? Yeah,
that's a liner.
That's
so I'm not picking up on that.
Well done. Great discipline.
That is discipline, isn't it?
Stunning discipline under pressure with the camera.
So you can sort of see that was a line bite, a little bit of a
of course, it was slow, wasn't it?
It wasn't that really nice positive bite.
You've got quite a bit of bristle showing, which is good, isn't it?
Because it's just not. That's how it's being settled there.
Yeah,
so
that's how it should be though. Because look, you can read the line.
You can see the fins hitting the line. That's how we've got to look line bite. So what I'm going to do, just going to lift it out of the way. I'm going to reintroduce it. I actually felt a fish, just felt the corn hit a fish then as I lifted up. So we're trying to be in total control of what's going on. You can see that just those few pellets have attracted some fish.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
It's knowing which bites to strike at and reading your float. So we're going to have him.
What do you mean, like him?
Yep.
Lovely. What an absolutely amazing way to spend an afternoon.
You know what I'm going to do, Lee?
What's that?
I'm just going to throw a few pellets in.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
It's cavalier.
I know. I'm just going to throw a few pellets. And I don't really care that they're not accurate I want just a few fish hanging around the area before I go and pot in my small amount of bait.
Look at this, what a great way.
Oh,
and the fish are big, Rob, aren't they?
The fish are great. The fish are great, Lee. Like, this is classic margin carp fishing, isn't it?
It is, and you know, for a pleasure session, it's like we said before, it's one of the most enjoyable ways of fishing.
Yeah.
And if you're a match angler, it's a winning way of fishing. So, you know, oh, that's lovely.
Look at that.
What a fantastic day. Well, there you go. That's a great. The corn and pellet's working brilliant, mate. Absolutely. Yeah. You know, it's. I would say in this depth, it's definitely got the edge at the moment.
I feel sorry for him because for some reason we've come to a lake full of carp and Lee has decided to target the perch. So I don't know why he's decided to do that. Bit of a daft thing to do, in my opinion, but I feel sorry for him. So, Lee,
hello.
We're changing things.
Are we?
Yeah. Here you go, mate.
Oh, he brought me some corn.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I don't have to catch him more perch.
I don't think perch are that keen on corn.
Right.
So,
I've got
that on your hook.
I've got my perch bait on still now.
Feed a little bit of corn for me. Let's see if it's the ground bait or whether it's the maggots.
Feed a bit of corn.
Yeah, get a bit of corn in, mate.
What, with me ground bait?
I recken so.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, you can put a couple of bits on the hook.
Yeah, I've caught a lot of fish on ground bait and corn. What are you laughing at? I'm enjoying myself.
That's a lovely fish. Look at that.
Yeah, look, I mean,
specimen.
He's brilliant, isn't he?
Yeah. That's what summer carp fishing is all about, mate.
Why do they stock it full of perch?
Yeah, just stocked it recently, mate. Yeah. So get some corn in.
Yeah,
that's my good deed for the day. Put some corn in. See if you can catch some fish.
Oh, I'm gonna catch a few now. Yeah, absolutely. I still think ground bait's a great bait. I think it's a little deep. So all I do with some corn is I would just literally do exactly the same as what I've been doing, Rob. Like a bit of corn mixed into my ground bait and then in like that.
Right.
So this is a brilliant. If the lake was a bit shallower, I'm saying it'd be good.
Yeah, I think it's too deep, mate.
Yeah, of course you did. I didn't. It's 3 foot, so you want 2 foot or less.
Not that I knew that. Not that I was giggling away.
Not that you had any idea when you said, let's go and sit round those pegs over there, of course.
You chose the bait, though. You chose...
Yeah, I did choose the bait in the lodge. So,
got to take into account the fishing situation.
Of course I have, mate. Yeah, of course I have. Right, so I've seen how you've hooked it.
Double corn. I'm saying, if you put that down there, it won't be long before you got a carp on the end.
Yeah, maybe. It's, I don't see any reason why not. But obviously, like I say, that ground bait also gets them nuts, doesn't it? Gets them crazy. Like you said, you wouldn't even want to feed the micros today, would you? You want to feed the 4s. So, but hopefully, one will come and have a munch on the corn. It's been great. I've still caught plenty of carp, but you just get too many perch.
You're the perch master. That's what you are. I knew it'd work, Lee. Switch to corn. What have you had now? 4?
Yeah, 4, yeah. It's brilliant. Yeah, it's good. I can sit and wait for a proper bite, Rob. I still think, in the depth, the ground bait's not right.
The ground bait's knackering
because I'm getting them coming in at all levels, but it's certainly better than it was with maggots, without a doubt, because I can sit and wait for one to, I can read my float nicely.
Yeah, you're not getting any perch.
Yeah, I mean, look at him.
He's a lovely fish.
Like whale. And it's just a reminder for those guys who have venues that are, you know, I would say anything over like, what, 20 inch? You don't really want to be thinking about ground bait.
No. I'll tell you what the story is, Lee. I think in summer months, I think you've got 18, 20 inches the limit for feeding ground bait.
I agree.
Then you're going up through the pellet sizes, aren't you? So micros, you'd probably feed up to 2.5 foot, 3 foot.
Yeah.
4 mils, anything over that.
Yeah,
6 mils in 4 foot, 5 foot of water.
Yeah,
8 mils in deeper, and it's that pellet size. And weirdly, folks, we've cheated a little bit, and we know that.
It is cheating, Rob.
It is cheating, because we have seen exactly how these fish react to different baits, different ways of feeding, because we've just released a margin video on the members section that is absolutely insightful, because it's got a load of underwater footage and we can see how those fish react to different feeding strategies and the rigs, and it has blown our mind to see those fish reacting how they did. So underwater margin fishing, it's on the members section now. If you go to the homepage, our YouTube homepage, you click the join button, you'll be able to watch that. It is, I think it's 90 odd minutes of like really detailed margin fishing. So if you're into margin fishing with pellets, corn, all those sort of baits, that is going to help you catch loads more fish, trust us, because it's helped us understand what's going on today massively.
It's proved it today. We almost knew the answer, didn't we, before we came, because it was so incredible, that difference, when we fed and looked at how they act underwater. So, Rob, what you're saying is, if you want to catch a load of these, you need to check out the underwater footage, don't you?
Yeah, you do, mate.
I'll tell you what an amazing day at Guru Making's Fishery. It's been unbelievable, this. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I can tell you've liked it, mate. And now we've sort of twigged it, it is literally fish every drop in, isn't it?
Oh, every drop in. Yeah, every drop in. And when you consider these fish are, well, we've not had one less than £5, and most of them are 7, 8, 9 pounds, aren't they?
Fish was £4 or £5. It was the smallest one of the day.
Yeah, it's incredible, really.
Mega day, mega day.
Well, Rob, I've loved that. What an absolutely brilliant afternoon's fishing. There's so many options here. You know this place better than me. Tell me a little bit about it.
Right, you've got phase one, big fish usually, bigger lakes. We've got lake one that has got some massive fish in there. And then we've got lake 2, lake 3, lake 4, lake 5 that have got big match size carp in it. So they've got some F1s in there as well, but they've got a lot of 4 to 8 pound carp. The ones that we've caught today, they're spread out throughout the complex.
Nice carp.
Then you've got phase 2, which are smaller lakes. A lot more pole dominated.
Snake lake, are they, or?
They're not snake lakes, but they're smaller lakes. There's an odd snaky style.
So you're
lake
saying
that's
like the pole phase almost?
Yeah, I'm saying that's pole phase, and again, nice carp in those lakes, regular matches. They're a great lake, especially if you're a club. That's a great phase to book a match on. Then you've got phase 3, which that used to be Snake Lakes, but it's been redeveloped. There's now bigger fish in some of the lakes. There's a couple of newer lakes, so a couple of lakes have been redeveloped into a new style with a bigger island, more water, feeder chucks where it used to be all pole fishing. That's been fantastic. They've done a load of work on that, and again, club bookings. You could probably book 2 of those lakes out. You'll have a fantastic day's fishing.
So there's over 15 lakes on this complex.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, when we used to fish the Winter League here, there used to be 17 lakes, but I think because of the redevelopment, there's I'm going to say 15 lakes.
So there's a lot of lakes here on the complex. You can stay on site with accommodation. We've already seen how amazing that is. There's a tackle shop on site. We've had
There's a cafe.
There's a cafe, yeah, absolutely. There's a cafe. There's great access to all the lakes as well. We've had the most unbelievable afternoons fishing. I mean, this is in the middle of the country. So even though I live Leeds, it's 2 hours for me to come down. It's been well worth it. Not being funny, if you're anywhere within an hour of here, get yourself here. The fishing is ridiculously good.
Folks, you've got to remember, obviously, there's a competition. You could win a 2-night break to stay here. It's well worth entering that because obviously you get the Guru tackle as well, you get the 2-night break. It's a beautiful place to come. But if you're not lucky enough to win that competition, it's still a fantastic place to come. I urge you to get down here and catch a load of fish and have a great time. Remember, obviously we've got our members section. Go to our homepage, click the join button, you'll get access to all the little, I'm not saying little, the big detail. So it'll show you what we've seen on our underwater escapades when especially on that most recent video where we've caught a load of fish in the margin. Literally the fish are this close to the camera picking up our hook bait. It was amazing. Thank you for watching. We've had a great time. Hopefully you've enjoyed watching too. We'll see you next time.